Come, let us explore this evening's class and practice that we too could meditate like a Jedi. I agree, Jared. I agree. Together, let us relaxingly recite. Those who follow sages of the past end up being afflicted by the disease of attachment to the path of meditation. When they base themselves on the final words and the precepts of the teachers, they merely follow streams of thoughts and are similar to those who pursue a mirage. It would be a mistake to try to define the true reality. The true path cannot be expressed in words. All mammalian children learn by modeling. It's baked into our cake, figuratively speaking. It should therefore come as little surprise that not only do corporeal children learn from corporeal adults, but people who've just entered the spiritual path are eager to learn from the examples of those who have come before them. Whether those examples are of flesh, blood, and bone, and they are their teacher in their same room or perhaps on the same internet. But we can also learn from teachers who lived and died many, many centuries ago. However, when we do so superstitiously, when we rely upon the guidance and examples of others from a place of fear, from a place of rigidity, from a place of superstition, it does not end well. And to illustrate that, I would like to tap button 9 and explore a visual aid. Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks, but no, not in the fun, tingly way. Wherever we find humans, whether it be in a religious setting or a secular setting or a vocational setting or a recreational setting, the behaviors and attitudes of humans fit nicely into one of two categories. A rightist category, where we are rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel, or a leftist category, where we are flexible, loving, rational, laid-back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. When we approach tales of teachers gone by, we approach their writings from a place of being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. It's not going to serve us well. Nothing we pursue rigidly, fearfully, superstitiously, controllingly, or elitistly or competitively is going to serve us well. What then is our ultimate teacher? Our own central nervous system. Now, the rightists tend to recommend the path of over-focus and over-analysis, which exhausts the front of our brain to the point that we begin presenting with symptoms of depression. And we trigger our amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression. However, or I should say fortunately, neither the amygdala nor the prefrontal cortex constitute the entirety of our central nervous system. Case in point, every time we inhale, we are already evolved to automatically access the sympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system, which is ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord and has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. Every time we exhale, we are wired to automatically access the parasympathetic aspect of our autonomic nervous system, which is divided between the lower third and the upper third of that same spinal cord. This parasympathetic bit has evolved to help us to physically relax and mentally release to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and less defining, and figuratively feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, is non-graspable to the hand. If following the advice of rightists, well, let's think of it this way. Every time we inhale, every time we breathe, we have a choice. Do we passively cooperate with our autonomic nervous system, or do we actively compete against it? By cooperating with it, we calm our amygdala and gently stimulate the anterior cingulate gyrus, which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, which can transform dread into compassion and desire into love. For instance, when we feel hungry, we might have empathy for others who are hungry. When we rejoice to eat, we might wish that all beings everywhere eat as well. The purpose of the outer teacher is just to help us find the inner teacher of the mindfulness and meditation that makes of us a Buddha. We don't want to practice meditation in a place of rigidity and fear and superstition. We want to practice mindfulness meditation in a place of being flexible and loving and rational and laid back. When they base themselves on the final words and the precepts of the teachers, they merely follow streams of thoughts and are similar to those who pursue a mirage. Mindfulness is automatic. Every time we inhale, whether we feel that inhalation in our belly or our chest or our nose, we are already wired to notice automatically. Every time we exhale, we are already wired to relax. We do not have to force it. In fact, it works better if we don't. All we need to, and we can practice this mindfulness and meditation lying down or walking or sitting. All we're really doing is simply cooperating with our autonomic nervous system in a way that helps us to master the Buddha's Eightfold Path. We do not do it through concentration or repression or analysis. We do it simply by cooperating with our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. It would be a mistake to try to define the true reality. The true path cannot be expressed in words. I squandered years of my life being taught to do that and striving to do that. And I owe an eternal gratitude, an eternal debt to Bakatuku, who, when I lamented that although I could recite the tenets of Madhyamaka philosophy, I could not viscerally experience it during meditation, said, all you need to do is relax. Whether we look at India or Thailand or Burma or Laotia or Vietnam or China or Korea or Japan or Mongolia or Tibet, we're always going to find a majority of practitioners who lose themselves either in superstitious devotion or in pseudo-intellectual philosophizing. Neither is beneficial. The Buddha insisted that one could master his path in as little as a week. The only way to do that is to cooperate with our autonomic nervous system, to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, and to physically relax in harmony with the phases of our breath, treating our breath the way a piano student might treat a metronome. Having completed our opening lesson, let us take a moment to shift gears. It is Ahsoka Tano Thursday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Semde Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this evening's live stream, let's play with the latest iteration of a very easy meditation practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. Now, for the most part of this week and the last week, my health has not permitted me to teach in the evenings. So I'm elated I was able to share a lesson with you tonight. Now, I'd be joyfully surprised if I was able to sit for 45 minutes with you. But whatever vitality I've got, I will happily share it with you. The most efficient way for us to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energy to coalesce in our lower abdomen is for us to rest. Let's see what we've got going on here. It's for us to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. To keep track of 12 inhalations, we can advance our right thumb on the creases of our fingers on our right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The most efficient way for us to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at our chest is to silently and mentally rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, on the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. The most efficient way for us to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at our crown is to gently rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, palm the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's dawn meditation class as well as group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.